Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great week. Happy Friday. Hope everybody had a great holiday weekend last week and enjoyed some barbecuing and some grilling. And everybody's getting a good kickoff to the summer. So this week, I know the last couple weeks we had spoken about commercial insurance, but in light of the sign that I saw this last week and something that has kind of been a little bit more of a forefront topic in our industry, I kind of wanted to talk about ambulance chasers or storm chasers. As you know, in the spring here in the Midwest and the early summer here when we have storms, they seem to pop up, and signs like that, and hail, yes, I got a free roof, and people coming around knocking on doors or leaving things. So I thought it would be something good to talk about. It is, like I said, it is a topic that is pretty big in insurance right now, in that it could lead to higher rates, right? Because for all intents and purposes, and we're not saying that people don't have damage, but what I'm saying is, by and large, these guys are coming with no real proof that there was any storm or anything. They're just, either they come on the heels of a storm, or they just say, hey, your neighbors had hail damage, that means you do too, or something like that. And it could lead to higher rates because for all intents and purposes, in some cases, it could be insurance fraud. These guys could, fake damage. They could do a lot of things. So, in fact, I'm driving past one right now. The other thing that I've been following that's been super interesting is that has led to some increased tension in Florida over a bunch of different factors, storms and things like that. Obviously, hurricanes and bigger storms like that can lead to way more damage in Florida by and large than maybe here, but they are running so rampant there that it is actually, without there being any large storms in the last couple years, in my memory, that there have been a lot of insurance companies, and to my count, there have been 7 in the last couple months that have gotten out of Florida, that have been classified as insolvent, not been able to pay their claims, and or just deciding to non-renew people and get out altogether. So, in fact, there was one law firm, public adjusting company, and contractors that were found to defraud about $112 million worth of claims in 5 years. So it is something that is more common than you might think, right? So I wanted to kind of go over, okay, what are those people? What do they? What can they do? What are they? What are they going to say? What happens if somebody approaches you? And if you feel, hey, there was a storm. Maybe I have some damage. What should you do? Where should you go from there? What are we there for? And what are the insurance company? What are they going to do? Right? So some things to look for as it would relate to these, I'm going to call them storm chasers, is A, they're going to knock on your door, right? No reputable roofing company is going to come knocking on your door and say, hey, I think you have storm damage. Can we take a look? Right? That does not happen, right? So that should be your first red flag, right? It's different if, somebody, a neighbor says, hey, we had some, our roof done by somebody and they're very knowledgeable because we needed a new roof. Do you want their name? That's one thing. But like I said, if somebody comes and just says, hey, I think I can get you a free roof, or there's been storm damage in your area, or something like that, they're probably not very trustworthy. Another red flag is usually they're not local. Usually they aren't a local company. They're not somebody from, the area. They literally travel the country and try to find places to have, they feel has had storms they can come to, and then they're gone as soon as they were here, right? They have no insurance info. anybody that's going to do work on your house, any contractor, is going to be licensed and bonded in the state, in the county, in the town in which you are in. So that means they're going to have a bond for, in my case, Lake County. They're going to be registered and licensed in Crown Point, and they will have no problem showing you that and showing you a certificate of insurance and all that stuff, right? So that is super important. If somebody says, no, I don't have that, or I'll show that to you next time, or whatever, that is something you want to look into, right? That is an immediate red flag. Next thing is they put pressure on you to sign something, right? Right away. Hey, we need to sign this. Hey, we need to take care of this. Hey, we need to do this. Hey, we need to sign. We need to sign. Nobody should make you sign something. It is what they shouldn't use scare tactics. It should not be like, hey, you got to sign this today. A lot of times that is something they're trying to get you to sign to basically let them act on your behalf, and they become basically your person, right? Like, so you basically give all control over to them, and now you don't have any control in your claim, right? You don't get to, they get the payment. They basically cut you out, and they can make decisions acting on your behalf, and you have no recourse, right? Every state works a little different on what can and can't be done, but that is a red flag. Nobody should have you sign anything, pressure you to sign anything, and say, hey, I'll act, I'll take care of the insurance company, you won't have to pay a deductible or anything like that. Is a red flag, right? And obviously, hey, if they say, hey, I'm going to get you a free roof or something like that, anybody that badmouths an insurance company and says, hey, they're not going to give you what you're entitled to, that is something obviously I take very seriously and very, let's say, get very heated over, because I take all of my clients very seriously, and I'm very thankful for them, and I'm not going to put them with somebody that isn't going to take care of them, right? Because at the end of the day, that is how I make money. I'm a salesman, and if I would sell you something that didn't work, that's going to be bad. So anybody that I represent, any company that the Mitchell Corporation represents, I am more than comfortable is going to take care of you, right? And it's going to be there to help you. So that's another red flag. So if any of that comes, any of that happens, somebody knocks on your door, we're always here. You don't have to sign anything. You don't have to do anything. Always give us a call and we can help out. Now, let's say a storm did happen, or you feel like you might have some damage or something, right? Now, first things first, as I say that, if there's major damage, like there's a leak or there's a hole in your roof or a tree fell on something, right? Like, immediately get that taken care of. And what I mean by that is you have the right and also the duty to protect your house. So if there's a hole in your roof, right, because a wind came and tore something off or a tree fell, no matter the time of day, night, or whenever, you could call somebody, get them to come out and tarp it and take care of it, or whatever. If you go get a tarp, keep all those receipts, because anything we can do to head off any more damage is good, right? So if it's not that, if you just feel like, okay, I might have some damage, right? You found a few shingles from, a windstorm, or you see something, or, on the side of your downspouts, you're starting to see a lot of granule or something like that, where you're like, oh, I might have some damage, okay? I always tell anybody that might call me, hey, do you know a roofer? Do you know of a reputable roofer, right? And 99 times out of 100, if you have a reputable roofer that is local and has been in business, and they come out and say, hey, yep, we see some damage, right? You call the insurance company, adjuster comes out. It 99 times out of 100 is no problem, and it is super smooth, right? Like, it always becomes a little bit trickier when we see those storm chasers come out, and then they're pushing and things like that. So that's where we see that extra. So as long as reputable roofer, no problem, right? If you're not sure of a roofing company, please, give us a call. We can always give you a couple or people that we've worked with or something like that. Or obviously, like I said, we can contact somebody and at least make sure that we get you somebody reputable, right? Let's say now there is damage. You're going to call me back, and we're going to start a claim, right? From there, an adjuster is going to come out. It is important, as I've kind of said before, make sure you're involved in that process, right? Don't let the storm chasing company or a roofer say, I'll take care of this. No, you want to be involved because that's your property, and you don't want anybody to say anything or not be aware of something that is happening. So you want to be there when the adjuster is there, and if your roofing company's there, that's great. To go through all that so that if there's any questions, if there's any comments, you are there to ask them, to be on the same page as everything happens. From there, like I said, be involved. As we're adjusting the claim and things are happening, obviously they're going to send you money. It should always go to you, right? And then you pay the roofing company, right? And then this way, we're making sure the work's getting done, right? You're active in that process. Again, make sure everything is going as planned. Make sure that, hey, they're doing things, they've pulled permits, they've done all that stuff, right? And that you're comfortable with everything that's happening, right? And again, the adjuster and myself and the insurance company, we are there to help you through that process, right? So at the end of the day, if God forbid there is some damage, we're going to take care of you. It might come out and say, hey, no, there's not any damage, right? And that, there's no, roof's not leaking. There's nothing, right? And where that's going to be good news. Now, some people might be quick to be like, well, they just don't want to pay. No, that's not the case, right? Because here's the deal: if there is damage and it causes more damage, we have to pay for that too, right? Like, we're going to have to pay for the damage that the roof has caused on the inside of your house if there was something. So don't take it for granted that we're going to say no right away. Like I said, most cases there's no problem, everything goes great, and everybody's happy. On the off chance that there is a problem, or let's say adjusters sometimes use words or say things, and you might not understand because you're not an insurance person. That is where we come in, right? As an independent insurance agent, I don't work for the insurance company, I work for you. So I can help you and say, hey, oh no, he meant this, or hey, here is this process, right? Like, this means you're going to get, half of the money now and half of the money later when it's complete, or such and such, right? So if there's any time in that process that you should feel like, oh, I didn't quite understand that, or hey, I didn't know what he meant here, always reach out to me, all right? So I hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope this was a little bit interesting, and as interesting as insurance can be. And if you have any questions on this or anything else I can help you with, please don't hesitate to DM me, reach out, let me know. Contact the Mitchell Corporation for anything you might need. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week.